Hey, do you want to watch The Notebook?
Sure, I love The Notebook.
I've never seen it.
Wow, have you seen any movies based on the novels of Nicholas Sparks?
Nope.
What if we watched all of them?
I'm willing to try anything.
Sparks, 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 sparks.
Notes.
Hi, I'm Whitney,
I'm Zach.
and this is Sparks Notes. This is a limited podcast series in which we watch and review every movie based on a book by Nicholas Sparks.
This week, we get to talk about Safe Haven from 2013, starring Josh Duhamel, Julianne Hough?
Huff.
Huff?
I was waiting because I was like, how are you going to pronounce this?
I fucked it up.
It's okay.
And of course, Kobe Smulders.
Yep.
And that's it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't feel like anybody else I really knew.
I don't even know who Julianne Hough is.
Oh, yeah. I remember you said that. She's actually a professional dancer.
Oh, she doesn't get to dance in the movie though.
That's true. She did not dance in the movie. Well, they did slow dance, but I think she got her like start at actual fame on Dancing with the Stars.
Hmm.
And I'm not sure if she has much more acting experience or if this was like her first big role or what, but she's definitely first and foremost a dancer.
I saw that she had a tiny role in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
What?
Like, maybe she
That's
only had like one line or something kind of
that's
thing.
so interesting, especially because they were very specific about only casting British actors in those movies.
Yeah. And
So,
Josh
anyways,
Duhamel, I don't know much about him.
we know him. Well, he was married to Fergie. Did you know that?
Oh yeah, you told me that when we watched the movie.
Oh.
Are they still together?
I always have a fun fact. I think they're broken up.
Dang.
Yeah. Yeah, they divorced in 2019. And now he's married to someone named Audra Mari. Okay, should we watch the preview?
Yes, let's do our Sparks Notes tradition of watching the trailer for Safe Haven.
Good. This will spark a memory for me of what this movie is about.
Let's hope so.
You seen this woman? I don't think so. Stop the bus, Possum PD!
How you liking Southport?
It's definitely a change of pace.
From what?
Somewhere I don't really want to go back to.
It's usually just a pit stop for most people.
I like it here.
I'm Alex. Nice to meet you.
If I could, maybe I'd give you my world.
Did you leave this outside my house last night?
It was just sitting in my shed. I see you walking every day. It's perfect for you.
I appreciate it, but I can't take it.
All right.
Why won't you let him get to know you?
I've had things happen to me in the past.
Open up, everything's waiting for you.
Did you hear about his wife? She passed away a few years ago.
Okay, maybe I overreacted.
Would you like to go canoeing with me?
Canoeing? I like to go canoeing.
You can go your own way.
Does it get better?
Just focusing on the kids. And today, with you, this feels like the first time I've looked up.
I'm happy here with you.
Yeah?
Go your own way.
Detective Tierney, do you know this woman?
Katie, he's here.
I've got to get out of here.
Just tell me the truth.
It's everything that I was afraid of. He's gonna find me.
If you're in some kind of trouble, we can fix it. Katie! I love you, but I can't let you go. There's no safer place for you than here with me.
Wow.
Wow. I like that Fleetwood Mac cover. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, that was pretty
One of the
good.
better trailer music choices we've seen.
And I like when he says, "There's no safer place than here with me."
Safer
That
Haven.
trailer is actually safer haven. Safest haven. Yeah, just a little recap. Julianne Hough plays, is her name? I think her name's Katie. She's a woman on the run. We don't really know why at first. She's just kind of literally running away. Gets on a bus. She's obviously hiding from something. And she gets off at this little beach town. And that's where she meets Josh Duhamel's character, Alex. And she's kind of trying to keep to herself at first, of course. But she ends up bonding with him and his two kids. And all the while, we go back and forth between this and seeing this evil cop who's like running around with a picture of her to all these people. And he's like, have you seen her? And he's putting up like wanted posters. And it says like she's wanted for murder or
Hmm.
something. So that's kind of like the back and forth of the movie is this love story and then this other guy who's trying to find her and then eventually it all comes to a head.
And there's some twists along the way.
Oh, there are some
You haven't
twisties.
forgotten the twist, have you?
No, I will literally never forget that. Expectations. Did you have any expectations about this movie?
I did not have any expectations, sadly.
Zero.
I
Tabula
just knew
rasa.
Josh Duhamel was in it, and I couldn't remember what I knew him from. But I think it's from the Transformers movies, because I feel like I saw a couple of those in theaters, maybe when they came out. So, so I feel like
Really?
that's where I
He's in
know
those?
Duhamel from.
I feel like he's someone I just know who he is, but I can't actually name a single movie he's in besides this.
I think he was
So,
a soap opera star.
and he was Mr.
Yeah,
Fergie.
Mr. Fergie. Might have been Days of Our Lives.
Okay. I could believe that.
Oh no, no, All My
I'll say
Children,
Maya.
sorry.
Okay. Same thing. Sorry to the soap opera fans. Um, so I'll say I also didn't have a lot of specific expectations, but I feel like the last couple of movies we've watched have been very enjoyable overall, like fun time. So I was ready. I was ready to have fun again.
Did it succeed?
And kinda. I feel like we had a pretty good time. And this was our first time playing Sparks Notes Bingo too.
That's true. You had a printout.
So that was fun.
That was a lot of fun. Was trying to figure out all the bingo moments.
And I'm sure by the time this episode airs, we'll be sharing that or it will be shared. So
Yeah, I recommend everyone do
find
it.
our find our find our bingo sheet next time you want to watch a Nicholas Sparks movie.
Yeah. So, what did you like about this movie? Your highlights?
So the first thing that came to mind when I was thinking about the best part of this movie is when the little girl, Josh Duhamel's daughter, her name is Lexi. For some reason, she's like running their store alone. She's literally like 6 years
Yeah.
old. And Josh Duhamel, or Alex is his character, owns and runs this little store in town. And for whatever reason, it's just Lexi there. Like no one, not another person in sight. Could be for miles. And then the bad guy cop, Kevin, comes in and he like shows her a picture of Katie and asks if she's seen her before. And the little girl is just like, nope. And he's like, are you sure? And she's just like, never seen her.
Yeah.
Like she just knew. She's like, I have to lie to this man.
Yeah, she
Um
plays it real cool.
she does. She was cool as a cuke.
Yeah.
And not only is she running the store, but she's also just immediately lying to this. She knew he was evil. So that was probably my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah. Lexi was a highlight for sure.
She was actually really good overall. She rivals Ben, I would
Yeah,
say.
she's gonna rank high on the Nicholas Sparks children ranking.
What was a high point for you?
Um, Honestly, the final twist of the movie was a high point for me.
Really? Okay, you want to get into the twist?
Yeah, well, when she gets to this town in North Carolina, she meets Kobe Smolder's character. I think they call her Joe, and
Mm-hmm.
they just kind of have a little friendship together, and they're just hanging out, talking and getting to know each other. But it's revealed. Well, we also know that Josh Duhamel has a dead wife who died from cancer, and so he's doing the single dad thing.
I feel like you could have said he's a widower. It's like he has a dead wife.
He's a widower with a dead wife, and
Be specific.
and so yeah, so we hear little bits and pieces about her, but we never get to see her. But by the end of the movie, there's a it's revealed that Kobe Smulders is his dead wife, and she's
She's
been
a
a
ghost.
ghost this whole time, and we were both shocked. I think I
Yeah.
recall you jumped out of your seat and you're like just
I did literally jump out of
you're
my seat and I
standing
was like,
up.
Did I say no or something?"
I don't know. I just remember you standing in disbelief.
I truly leaped.
Yeah, so this is the first ghost
Yeah.
we've encountered in a Sparks film.
Yeah. It was exciting,
Not all
honestly.
ghosts are translucent. Some ghosts look as real
Some
as you or
ghosts are
me.
Kobe Smulders.
Some ghosts are just Kobe Smulders.
Yeah, it was those letters. So Joe, Colby Smulders, had left behind a bunch of letters. She must have known. I think, yeah, she was sick. So she like knew she was dying. So she left letters for these like special occasions. They were mostly for the kids. It seemed like it was like for Lexi's wedding day or for what's the other
I
kid's
don't know.
name?
For the little
I don't know.
boys.
The boy's 18th birthday. And then there was one that just said for her. So Alex gives Katie that letter. And it's like basically like, if you're reading this, then he must really love you and all this stuff. And it's just really nice. And then there's like a picture in it and it's signed from Joe and it's a picture of Kobe Smulders. And that's when you know.
Wow. And she's been like kind of like trying to get her to like open up to Josh Duhamel the whole movie. Like she's been like kind
Yeah,
of wingmanning his her
that's
husband
true.
from the grave.
That's the best kind of wingman.
I saw some reviews that said that that was really lame and bad, but I honestly enjoyed it, and I think it's one of the best parts of the movie is this crazy twist.
I mean, I definitely enjoyed because it did surprise me. And then I remembered, I was like, I think I knew that this happened. I want to say I read a review like maybe when this movie came out, so years
Hmm.
ago, that it said what happened, that this was a ghost. And it was just buried so deep in my subconscious that I was not aware until it happened. And then I remembered, like, oh yeah, I knew that
Hmm.
somehow. But it was definitely a fun turn. And I still didn't expect it, even though I deep down knew. So, yeah, nothing like what we've seen from Sparks.
Yeah, it was really cool. I also really like the part when his son falls off the boat.
Dude, I was gonna say, I forgot for a second that that was this movie because all these movies take place on the beach. So I was like, anyone could have fallen off of that boat at any moment. But yeah, that was really funny. Yeah, the son was kind of lame. I feel like the daughter carried them, and the son was just in the background of this scene, like walking across a boat.
Hmm.
And then he falls, but like the way he fell, he was like flying through the air.
Yeah.
We like rewound it and paused it multiple times just to
Yeah, you
watch
got a
him.
really hilarious freeze frame of his like his legs like kicked out in the air.
I might have taken a picture of the TV
Yeah, you gotta
while
if you
that
have it, you
happened.
gotta post it to Instagram because we were just cracking up just at this little frame. You look like almost like a puppet, or it didn't look like you didn't look like a
Yeah.
real boy.
I have to I'll have to double check, but yes, I do have it. I will be sharing that after this episode
Yeah.
goes up so people know what we're talking
And
about.
that scene has no consequence on anything. It's like I don't even know why it happens. It's just like he just falls in the boat and it's just or falls off the boat.
Yeah, does somebody go pull him out? I feel like there was a moment of chaos there, but I don't
Yeah,
yeah, I don't feel
it
like
didn't
it.
matter. It's not like he got injured. The boy was fine. He just fell into the water. It was very
And he knew
it
how to
was very
swim.
strange.
Yeah, but we loved
And
it.
also he that boy loves to fish and but like Josh Duhamel is trying to get a picture of his fish, but he always throws the fish back before he can get a picture. And then they have a fight
Yeah.
about that. It's like, why don't you let me take a picture of you
Yeah.
with a fish? And he's like, I don't want you to do that.
I think he wanted him to just like enjoy the moment
He's
or
like, live in the
something.
moment.
He's
Don't
like,
take a
you
picture.
don't take pictures, which is kind of the opposite of what you would expect. You would think like the parent would be telling the kid to get off their phone and be present, but it was a little boy. Maybe he was really just wise beyond his years.
Yeah, I didn't like him, but
I didn't either.
compare,
He
especially when you
honestly was
compare him to
lame.
Lexi. It's like,
Yeah, Queen Lexi. And we don't even know that kid's name, honestly.
so yeah, those are the two things I liked.
Yeah, those were good. I like your I like those.
What did
Um,
you not like?
what a yeah. Okay, so I feel like we talked about this while we were watching it, but the cop, Kevin, I feel like anytime he showed up, I was just so irritated.
Hmm.
It just felt what was the movie? The Lucky One was the one other one that had a bad guy that was a
Yeah,
cop.
that's the one we watched just before this one.
Yeah, but something about that was it made more sense, and I think it was because that character was more involved in their lives.
Hmm.
So him showing up and causing trouble and stuff, it kind of like went with the flow of the movie. But with this, it was just this guy running around and he was so mad the whole time, slamming this picture around, and you don't really know what's going on. He's just like being mean to people. He breaks into this woman's house to try to get her contact information and find out where she is. And the whole time he's also like saying she committed murder or like was wanted for murder. And then eventually we get a flashback and see that that's not true. She didn't murder anybody. They were actually married. So this is her
Hmm.
husband. And he was abusive and attacked her one night. And she like attacked him back, basically. And she did stab him, but he didn't die, obviously. And that was when she ran away and kind of like just went on the run. So you eventually find that out that this is why she's hiding, and her ex is crazy, but he's also a cop and can maybe pull some strings. But yeah, I felt like even with that one flashback, it didn't seem like enough context of their relationship. Because you just get one scene. You don't see anything else, any other part of their dynamic or anything else. Not that this needed to be a big thing about abuse, but
Yeah, there's no nuance to it.
yeah, it was just like, here's one scene where he's drunk and he is hitting her or
He like
something.
tries to
I
choke her or
wanted like,
something, and
yeah, I can't even remember what he did, but it felt like that could have used a little bit more development. Even just like one other flashback of something. Because the rest of the time I'm just like, oh, this guy's just running around being insane. So
yeah, I agree. That stuff was bad and it was boring to watch. I didn't,
yeah, it was all the
yeah, it was
same.
like every time they cut back to him doing his stuff, I was really dragged down the movie and it felt like a completely different movie and a movie I
Yeah.
didn't want to watch. he wasn't a fun bad guy like the cop in the Lucky One. He was just like just like a
Yeah.
shitty police detective that, and he was like an
Yeah.
alcoholic.
But we also feel like, but we also kind of felt like this is proof that Nicholas Sparks is ACAB because he's had two cop villains like in a row. So
Yeah, that's something.
was there anything else you didn't like or least favorite things?
I also like was a little bummed out that she didn't kill anybody. I was excited for her to have murdered someone and to see why she did it,
Oh, yeah, you wanted like the backstory of an actual
but she
murder.
just stabbed her shitty husband, and that was less exciting to me.
Yeah. I mean, she did stab him and it was like a butcher knife, so
Yeah.
that was kind of fun.
Yeah, it was a little bit of it was definitely more intense than what you get from your usual Nicholas Sparks movie, more suspense. So
Yeah.
that was a little bit interesting new flavor.
Yeah. I like the Wikipedia page says Safe Haven is a 2013 American romantic fantasy drama thriller film.
Whoa,
Like that's it's
I
every
guess it's
genre.
fantasy because of the ghost.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
I guess that's
Yeah.
what makes it a fantasy.
Romantic fantasy drama thriller. That's four different genres.
Yeah. Sparks is mixing it up and
Yeah. Oh, for sure. This was like a true, I don't even know, a milkshake,
this is this
a
was a true
smoothie, a
milkshake of a
salad.
movie.
I'm trying to think of things that you like mix together.
Yeah.
So I
Wait, I
actually
have
have.
another thing I didn't like.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, there's a scene of them canoeing together, and it was just a little frustrating because they're facing each other when they're canoeing, which is not how you canoe.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're supposed
famously.
to be pointing the same direction, but like they're like facing each other and like kind of just like
So yeah, what were they even doing? Just like swinging their oars
yeah,
around, flapping them in
yeah,
the
they were both
water.
just kind of flapping them randomly, and I don't know. That was just very, very dumb.
Yeah, it was nothing like The Notebook when Ryan Gosling takes her out on the boat and he actually knows how to row.
Yeah, that's a great rowboat scene. This was the first time Sparks tried to take on a canoe scene, and it was a big flop, in my opinion. Stick to the rowboat.
He took a canoe and he lost. So, okay, I can tell you my thing
Yeah.
now. Okay, so I saved this quote. I came across it over a month ago when I was reading interviews with Nicholas Sparks. And it's about they're asking him like kind of about his writing process. And I was like, oh my God, this quote makes him sound like such a jackass. So I saved it to share with you. So the question that was asked is, for the story's themes of domestic abuse, what kind of research did you have to do? Fair
About Safe
question.
Haven specifically.
Yes, this is specifically
Yeah.
about that book and, domestic abuse. What kind of research did you have to do? His answer is less research than you would imagine. In fact, I did none. I'm almost 45 years old. I've read newspapers my whole life. I've seen news shows on television. I've seen movies. I've read books. I've seen episodes on US commercial television. And I think everyone has a pretty clear idea of what, quote, domestic abuse means. The specifics in every situation are different. So I just leaned on common sense and tried to create a female character and figure out how she would react in such circumstances.
Wow. He seems
I
real
have
proud. He seems real
exploded.
proud of that he didn't
Yeah.
do any research.
Yeah. He's like, oh, trying to write from a female perspective about trauma. Don't care.
Yeah.
I'll make it up.
Wow.
What? That is crazy.
And I think that comes across in this movie that he just has a very surface level understanding of
Oh, for
domestic
sure.
abuse. It's when the
Yeah.
man attacks the woman. That's all he
Right.
knows.
Yeah. Man drink alcohol. Man swing fist. Lady
Yeah,
fall.
it wasn't great. That's not our Sparks fact. That was just a
No, that's not our Sparks fact. That was just a little bonus tidbit that I found a while ago and I wanted to save while we were talking about this movie.
Bonus
So
tidbit.
bonus.
Okay, well, did he have any surprises? I
Oh
mean, I guess we've already talked about some surprises.
yeah. The obvious
Yeah.
one of the Joe being a ghost the whole time.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if there was much else. I did think Julianne Hough did a good job in this movie. I thought her acting was pretty good, so that was kind of a surprise. I didn't really know what to
What about
expect.
Josh? How do you think he did?
He was pretty good.
He
I
was
don't know.
tall.
He was very tall. I was just kind of like thinking more about her because I wasn't as familiar with her. Although I already said I don't know any movies Josh Duhamel's in, so I guess I'm not that familiar with him either. But I was surprised by her performance. I thought she was did a pretty good job.
Yeah,
Those are my
yeah,
surprises.
they weren't bad. They were fine, I thought. I was a little bit surprised that I feel by the similarities this movie had to The Lucky One with the Zac Efron movie we just covered last week. It has the same kind of thing of the main character just showing up in a new town and romancing a single parent who's and then finds out that they're like a parent good figure with the kids. And then
Yeah. And like harboring a secret
yeah, they both got secrets and there's
and trauma.
drama and there's evil cops in both being
Yep.
the trying to ruin the fun. And it also
Yep.
has the happy ending of the couple staying together at the end. Also the main character staying in a little shack in the woods.
Right. Yeah. I we did think that the little cabin she stays in was reminiscent of Zac Efron's shack.
It looked
That's so
like almost
true.
the same shack.
I mean, it could have been. Maybe they reused that. You know what else I like? This is such a tiny dumb thing, but when she's decides to kind of fix her little cabin up a little bit and she paints the floor, I really liked how they showed her going into her refrigerator and she had to like climb onto the counter or do something like crazy and then stand on the ledge of the
Oh yeah.
fridge to like get something out. I don't know why they showed that, but I thought it was pretty
Yeah, that
funny.
was a good little human moment.
Yeah, we probably needed some more human moments.
Also, when she broke through the floor and you saw a little bit of a possum in there,
A possum, yeah.
a little possum booty.
I feel like that's like the only booty we saw though,
No
right?
butt cracks or side boobs
No.
or anything. It was
No, all we got was a flash of possum thigh.
yeah, this movie is not as nearly as horny as The Lucky One.
No, I don't even remember them. I remember them making out because they made out against
There
the
was sex
tree.
without thrusting on our bingo card.
Oh yeah, and we did check that off, so that means they did have sex.
Yeah, but
I
it was
just
just
barely
one scene
remember
that was
that.
not very hot.
Yeah,
So that was
no.
a little bit of a disappointment.
You can always just rewatch the lucky one if you're, if you're feeling hot and
Oh, one
bothered.
other surprise is this movie is directed by Lasse Hallström, the same director as Dear John. So this is the
Yeah.
first time a director has gotten two bites at the Sparks apple.
Wait, is that a real saying? Like two bites at an
Or
apple
I think
or
like another
something?
bite at the apple is like a is a saying or
Oh,
something.
I don't think I've ever heard that, but I really liked that you said
Thank
that.
you. He's also directed What's Eating Gilbert Grape, Chocolat, Cider House Rules. So he's directed a lot of stuff. And he also directed multiple movies about dogs, which is funny because his last first name's Lassie, a famous dog.
A famous dog, Lassie.
He has a movie called Hatchie, A Dog's Tale, A Dog's Purpose, and also My Life as a Dog. So maybe he
Yeah,
used to be
that's
a
so
dog.
interesting. Maybe he was
He
a dog
transformed
in
into a
another
man,
life.
film director man.
I mean, have you ever seen him and a dog in the same room
Yeah,
together?
I don't think so.
It also says he first became known for directing almost all the music videos by the pop group ABBA.
Wow.
What a career,
Just
Lassie.
reminds me of Mamma Mia with Amanda Seyfried from Dear John, with all the ABBA
Yeah.
songs. So it might be a connection there.
I mean, that's probably a connection. He was probably thinking that when he directed whoa, there's like a huge list of music videos he's directed. Oh yeah, they're all oh my God, there's so
He's
many.
directed every ABBA music video.
It seems like it. Okay, anyways, so that's that's Lassie
Yeah,
Hallstrom.
I would say this movie is not as good as Dear John, in my opinion.
No, you know I agree. I loved Dear John. This one was no.
Um, should we do
Um,
the sparkometer?
yes, that's what I was just gonna say. You read my mind. Again, the sparkometer is a newer element of this show because I thought it'd be a good idea to introduce something new. So the sparkometer is our ranking from 0 to 100 of how much chemistry the leads had. And I thought they were pretty good together. There was one scene specifically where they were at the beach and they were just kind of like talking, but the way they were talking, I thought it was a really good vibe.
hmm
So I gave them a 71.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's also like a scene of them like talking at like a restaurant or something, and what were they talk? They're like talking about like Bigfoot or something, or I don't know. There's some really
Maybe.
weird out of context conversation they were having to show that they had chemistry with each other. That was really funny.
Yeah. And they had like that nice slow dance in the restaurant or whatever. So,
Yeah, I was a little bit less impressed, but I still think they did pretty good. So I'll give them a 60.
wow. That is less
I think
impressed.
she might have
Okay.
had more chemistry with Kobe Smulders, honestly.
Okay, I forgot I was gonna actually say that when you started talking about Kobe Smulders' character because the first like several scenes that they had together, I was like, wait, are they gonna date? Like they definitely had a vibe going
I thought it
on.
was going to be a lesbian romance,
It easily
and
could
it
have
would have been
been.
honestly way better if it was. But
Probably. And she still could have been a
yeah,
ghost. Like that's fine. She could have been a ghost and they still could have had a romance. That's been a movie before. It's fine.
isn't Ghost about that?
Yeah. Took me a second. Yeah, that is, yeah.
um,
Um, so our average sparkometer for this is 65.5. So have to keep that in mind.
all right, should we do our letterbox saved reviews? This is a 2-star review going off what we were just talking about. I don't think that this is horrible, but I know for fucking sure it'd be a million times better if it was a lesbian romance thriller.
Yes. I like this one. They put it behind a spoiler alert and it just says, and that, kids, is how I met your mother. Obviously, a Kobe Smulders
Yeah.
joke.
Did you like that show? Did you ever watch it?
I did. I watched, I think, all of it. I don't know if it would hold up now,
Yeah, I
but
remember I had a
I liked it
phase
back
in
in the
high
day.
school where I was really into How I Met Your Mother. I remember I was
Yeah.
resisting it and I thought it looked dumb, but then I just started watching it and I got hooked.
Yeah, it was fun. Although I have to say, I have gone out with multiple people who compare themselves to Ted Mosby, and that's a
Red
major
flag.
turn off to me. Yeah, I'm like, please, no, do not say
Yeah, I
that.
mean, I'd much rather be Jason Segel in that from that show. He's
Oh,
way
for
better of a
sure.
character.
Or even Barney.
Yeah,
I'll be
Barney's a
Barney.
fuck boy, but he's got a heart of gold.
Right. Yeah. Okay, I have a couple others. Oh, this one is 2.5 stars. And the review is Sixth Sense, but with seagulls and hot people.
Nice.
And then one more I'll read because it is also something we talked about. It's a 3-star review, and it says Nicholas Sparks said a cab, which yes, he did, honey.
There's a one more. I'll read 2.5 stars. My favorite part is when the little girl lies to the policeman slash detective slash bad guy with a stone cold face. Good for her.
Hell yeah. Literally my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah, you could have written that one.
Maybe I did.
Okay. I think we should give our scores now because I re-listened to the Message and Bottle episode and we did it. We did our scores after we read the Letterbox review scores, and I think that makes sense. Save the Sparks facts for
Okay.
last.
Yeah, sure. Are you gonna redo all the other episodes?
No. But I think this is a better way to do it.
It probably is, but I think we did every other one the opposite
Yeah,
way.
well, we're changing things up midstream.
We are. We're adding things, we're taking things out, we're switching things around. You never know what you're gonna get on
We're getting
Sparks
better
Notes.
microphones and whatnot.
Yes.
Uh,
Okay, what was your rating?
I give it 2 out of 5 stars.
Yep.
When I was
Figured.
watching it, I was like, this feels like a 1.5 star movie to me. But then the ghost reveal happened, and then I was like, oh, I gotta bump it to 2. So I
Bumped it
bumped it
up.
for when the Cobie Smolder ghost reveal happened.
I originally gave it 3 stars, but I was thinking about it earlier and I said no, and I moved it down to 2.5. So 2.5 stars for
Fair
me.
enough.
Yeah.
Safe Haven, not the best, but not the worst.
I guess we'll find out eventually where it falls.
Yeah, we'll get there.
It's time now for our Sparks fact.
Sparks fact.
I am bringing you the Sparks fact today. This Sparks fact is sponsored by Oreos and beer, which is the snack we had while watching this. So, Nicholas Sparks wrote 2 novels before The Notebook, which was his first published book. They were never published, though, and he says that they never will be because they're not well written enough to be published.
Well, that just goes to show if you're a writer, just throw out your first 2 books because they probably suck.
Yeah, I think yeah, that's the lesson here. Or you could just skip the first 2 and just start on your third one, and then it will
That's
be
smart
good.
too, yeah. And then your third book will be The Notebook.
Exactly. It will be the notebook.
Thank you. That was a beautiful Sparks fact.
You're welcome. I worked really hard on that.
Sparks fact.
So next up is going to be The Best of Me from 2014.
Yeah, we're in the phase where they're pumping out a new Sparks uh, film adaptation every year. Eventually it does stop though.
It completely stops because we haven't had one in, I think, 9 years. So
It's true. But I'm very excited to watch this next film, and I
Yeah.
hope you join us next time on Sparks Notes.
I know you will join us. Thanks for listening.
And follow us on Instagram.
Yeah, follow us on Instagram, like and subscribe. Send us an email. It's at sparksnotespodcast@gmail.com.
It is sparksnotespodcast@gmail.com.
Send us an email. Write us a review. Okay, I'm done.
Bye.
Bye.